34 Soda Pops later, and we're about ready to leave Nimbasa City for a short while, and in the meantime we get to listen to the awesome bike theme. Well, we're gonna leave after we rearrange our team a bit, because I think we're gonna have to need to a bit after the last gym. I caught a couple of new Pokemon that I didn't think would be too useful in that gym, so I'm gonna see if I can actually give a few of them some use. Because, you know, that's only fair. Not Emolga, though. Definitely not using that Emolga. Those things are pure evil. Yeah, so we've got Duffers there. Yeah, it's really my only opportunity to use a Stage 3 Pokemon, so I guess I can... Definitely not using that Emolga. I mean, the current party I've got is pretty good, I'll be honest, but, now, are you stronger than Sigilyph or not? I suspect not, despite the fact that you've got a plus special attack nature, which would normally be really good, except that, I can't evolve you. Now, this Trubbish looks somewhat interesting, surprisingly fast, and it's got a lot of good tanking moves. I might actually use this thing, it could be kind of amusing. Who do I drop? That Yamask was awesome. Seriously, he was really, really, really awesome. I'm gonna need him for the next few battles, definitely. You know what? Technically speaking, I really only used Sandile for that last gym. That was pretty much all I needed Sandile for. Darumaka's getting a little low and kind of slow and gets KO'd really easily. Could kind of replace it with Bernard, but even Bernard is a little too low level for this point in the game. Still, that's the best option I've got for a fire type, actually. Come to think of it, in general, there actually aren't very many decent fire type options at all in a no-experience playthrough. Well, apart from one that we get towards the end, but even that requires a bit of seasonal manipulation. I do kind of want to use this thing because Stockpile is actually a pretty decent move. Well, at least it was after it got buffed to boost defense and special defense. Yeah, you see, before, Stockpile was pretty useless. Okay, put you there just in case I need to get you back. Oh, right, and I need to give you your hero medal for what you did in the last gym. That was really, really useful, burning those Emolgas, even though they kept Volt Switching out of it! Still, managing to burn them both, the battle went much, much smoother, so good job on that one. So now what we need to do is leave the city by the western entrance. Last time we went here, we got hijacked by Plot and were forced to... Oh, by the way, I'm actually finally playing in the daytime now. This is one of the few times you'll actually be seeing daytime, so enjoy it while it still lasts. Anyway, this exit here, Bianca kind of took us hostage when we tried to go through it before. An excellent question, who does write this stuff on the bulletin board? And you'd better be advertising my victory against Alessa, because that did not come easily. Ugh. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about PokerStar Studios. No, I'm not going to do the musical. Sunny, Sunny, and Sunny. Okay, that's fine. And that's all they're going to tell us. And I just want to let my victory against Alessa sink in, because that was kind of annoying. Now, before you head through this gate here, make sure you're healed. Yep, since I've said that, you pretty much know what's coming. Yeah, you want to make sure you've got a decent Pokemon up in the head of your party. Make sure you're fully healed, make sure you're ready. Because, again, like I said, it's pretty obvious what's coming. We take a few steps here, and it's rival time. Stop. Rival time. Oh wow, you had to go through that Emolga hell too? I feel really, really sorry for you. But I don't think you're going to win this time. Okay, here we go. Cherry battle number... Is this be 5? I have a feeling this is 5. I kind of lose count. But anyway, Leopard here, did he use that last time? I'm still not entirely sure, because, he's never really been particularly challenging, so I kind of forget what his Pokemon use. Ah, damn it. Yeah, now I want to get my setup sweeper, as much as Dwebble could be called a setup sweeper, it's probably the best thing Oh, now that is annoying. This means I can't use rock polish twice in a row. So there goes my plan of spamming rock polish until I outspeed everything, but at least I can start good, I'm faster. That is great. Fortunately my stab moves are not too powerful. You shouldn't be, that's the standard stab move I've got, and in fact I may have mentioned this before already, but Smackdown is in fact the only physical rock move with 100% accuracy. And you know what's really annoying? I can't use it twice in a row because of Torment! I hate Torment. Speaking of Torment though, Dig does not in fact count as being used 2 turns in a row because it's a 2-turn move. It simply means that now I can't choose D again, at least I'm pretty sure. Unless I actually can use D again, because it's already been 2 turns since I last used it. I'm not sure how it works, all I know is that Dig can only be, I reckon I could finish it with Bait Attack actually, but I'm going to need some heal. Dig is only considered the last move chosen on the turn it's selected, I believe. Like this turn here, this is not considered a selection of Dig, I believe. In fact, Smoggin used to have quite a good article on, okay, probably want to get out of his Pansage, and I might be able to actually use Trubbish here. Like I was saying, Smoggin once had a pretty good article on the difference between move selection and execution. Selection is basically when the move is selected in the menu screen, obviously. Execution is, oh, that was a critical hit, I don't really have much to worry about. Execution is when the move is actually carried out, and that's when PP is deducted from it, I believe. Now, for 2-turn moves like Dig, I believe the move is actually selected once and executed twice. Both the digging turn and the attacking turn count as execution, I believe. The PP, I think, is deducted on the digging turn, yeah. You see, the original Red, Blue, and Yellow had some pretty weird things on how PP deductions worked, to the point where you could actually force moves to lose PP when they were at 0, and thus their PP would roll over to 63 or something weird. That was strange. Of course, Baggles here is now totally walling Pansage. See what I said about having nothing to worry about? Yeah, that critical hit even did less than a third of my health, so... yeah, I guess it was a good choice putting Baggles here. I don't want to use Swallow though, because that will just... and Sludge is surprisingly powerful by Now, if you had used that earlier, things could have been bad for me. As it stands, I think I'm fine. Yeah, Swallow wipes out all your previous stockpile boosts, so you only want to use that in the last resort. It does in fact recover... I love it when that happens! You get them down to red health, you're thinking, oh great, I could have KO'd them almost, and poison. Okay, let's just hope Leech Seed doesn't heal enough to get you out of poison damage. And it did! Damn it, that is annoying. Well, at least I can slap you to... if I don't miss. You know what, I think poison damage is equaling the amount of damage you're draining, isn't it? That's not good. Yeah, unless I hit you, we're stuck in an infill loop. I guess I'll just sludge you again. Sludge is surprisingly powerful as far as low-tier poison moves go. Tranquil, okay, you're still not up to Unfezant, which is kind of understandable, but... now, here's the thing now. Alright, my special defense is indeed boosted though, so that should be relatively fine. It's just that if you get a critical... oh, Leech Seed is still on me, that's not good. Forgot that Leech Seed still lasts even when they're already gone. Oh, great. Yeah, you use stat-up moves and you're just begging for a critical hit, and that was not good at all. I reckon I'd better switch out of this, actually. Unfortunately, Dwebble still takes neutral, annoyingly, but... see, they've either got... and for some reason I bring Leopard in. I am not entirely sure why I did this. I could have gone for, Detect. I could have gone for Rock Tomb on Sandile, but... of course, I wouldn't use Dwebble because 1, it's on low health, and 2, it's actually neutral to flying. Admittedly, these things aren't the best flying types out there. Then I guess using Payback after they use Quick Attack guarantees 100 power, so that's actually a pretty decent combo. Next up is Pink Knight, and I definitely want to get Felicia out of this one. Now, if I go to Exodia, you know what, actually, I'm going to go to Ekato and tank his fighting move. Oh dear, that's bad. I was expecting a fighting move there, because I double resist that. This could be bad. Hopefully, though, a couple of side beams should be more than enough to take it. Really? You use a fighting move after I switch in the thing that double resists it. I'm only taking 1 damage. Ha ha ha! You know, if you used that while I had Leopard out, I would have at least thought that was understandable. But using it now, really, man, your AI sucks. Man, your AI sucks even more. 1 damage. 1 damage. See? That's how much you're doing. 1 damage. I, on the other hand, am doing that much. Yes! Oh, I love it when that happens. I think it is, especially if you knock yourself out, man. Knock yourself out, knock yourself out. Yes! I love it when my opponents do that. Oh, that's always satisfying. Bye-bye, Pink Knight, and bye-bye, Cheren again. And your AI is stupid. Really, really, really stupid, and that's why you keep losing. Because your AI sucks. Sorry, I kinda wanted to use that, music for one of Alessa's entrances at least once, and I couldn't really use it for her entrance during the Bianca scene because, well, that would have caused massive mood clash. So we've got a whole bunch of trainers here, and, who's this? You can probably tell by the fact they have their own theme that they're gonna be important. Wait, festival? This place doesn't really look like there's a festival going on here. That's interesting. And yeah, now it seems like nowadays the writers pretty much realise that the players pretty much aren't going to fall for the whole mysterious, helpful stranger who actually turned out to be the champion. Shock twist! Yeah, no one's falling for that anymore. Seriously, did anybody fall for that with Cynthia? Because of this, the writers seem to have acknowledged that they can't really fool anyone with this kind of plot twist anymore, and just announce that this guy is the champion right now. So yeah, this is Alda, the Unova region's champion, who I think has a hairstyle that looks an awful lot like Axel from Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why. So anyway, I do kind of like Alda's theme. It's kind of unique. It's different to the kind of music you usually hear from these games. Oh, and here comes the big question. This is the question that really... What else? This is the question that really, really hits Cheren's psyche. This marks a turning point in his character. You want to go and become the champion. Now what? This is interesting because just like Bianca kind of deconstructs the series thing of 10-year-olds are allowed to leave when their parents don't see anything wrong with it, Cheren kind of deconstructs the I want to be the very best thing from the series. It's like, you know, you want to be strong, you want to beat the champion. What do you do next? And now we're going to have a bit of a philosophical discussion by battling small children. And fortunately, because you had no opportunity to heal after battling Cheren, he heals you, yeah, how nice of him. Anyway, let's go have a multi-battle with these two kids here. And what do they got for us? Herdia and another Herdia. Please don't have double Intimidate because that really, really gets irritating. Level 26, that's actually kind of tough. For me, at least. Alright, that's your Leopard and it's still lower level than theirs. Please don't pull double Intimidate. Oh good, no double Intimidate. That means the second one has Sand Rush, and that really shouldn't be an issue because, yeah, there's no Sandstorm going to be in this battle, really. Ooh, that could get problematic. You see, this battle's actually slightly more intense than it normally is on a playthrough like this, so I'll just rock polish up to be faster than those two. And, yeah, Herdias tend to not deal well with rock types, so... As Dan the Dog Slayer showed previously. Oh, I miss Dan the Dog Slayer, he was awesome. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing that much damage, but provided that I can tank them enough and they knock themselves out takedowning Leopard. Really? You have Citrus Berry, wow. You are surprisingly good for just preschoolers. Okay, good. Pansage has a really nice stab move in Seed Bomb. Of course, knowing Cheren's AI, he's probably going to do something useless instead. Second Citrus Berry. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd start leech seeding everything. Yeah, you're not going to have the defense. Wow, that was luck. Okay, you got lucky there. But Pansage would have been gone if those had both hit. Which was more likely than not, so why is it the AI trainers get all the luck? And thank you, Pansage. Seed Bomb is a very, very nice stab move, and you're going to knock yourself out, aren't you? Not quite, but Leech Seed will get you next turn. Yeah, weren't quite so lucky next time when you got doubled up. And it's kind of funny here, by setting out a rock type, I'm kind of forcing them to double up on Cheren's Pokemon. I know that's mean, but yeah. In fact, speaking of which, this being a multi-battle, multi-battles with in-game AI trainers, well, they often have a tendency to involve more than 6 Pokemon on one side. It's the only time you have a chance to legitimately do this. I've got 6 on my team, but Cheren has more. Cheren's got an extra 4. So technically speaking, it's like 10 against 2. That's ridiculously unfair. Still, I don't know why, but just me personally, I consider this one of the most heartwarming bits of the whole game. And here's why. This battle actually kind of alludes to an interesting thing in the series, and it's actually has kind of a... I think of this as a message to real-life Pokemon fans. I always really like the fact that, you know, us old veterans of the series, who have played for, you know, many, many, many years, seem to fail to realise that there are a lot of much, much younger people who are just getting into the Pokemon games. And, you know what, I just really like to help them out if I see one. You know, if I see a young kid playing a DS, I just can't resist the urge to go to them and just give them a slight advice. And I just like that. I always enjoy doing that. And it just gives me this sense of, you know, helping the community grow. And in a few seconds, you're about to see the day suddenly get earlier. Yes, that's because I played that. I played this bit the next day. So enjoy this daylight while it still lasts, because you're really not going to be seeing much of it this whole playthrough. Now, I'll just cut off my formal conversation to mention this for a second. Here is the Gourmet Maniac. The Gourmet Maniac is interesting. They're the first of the various item maniacs in the game. You may have wondered why I have never sold any of my, essentially vendor trash items. The reason is, while shops do pay a high price for these things, there are various NPCs in the game who actually pay more. For example, mushrooms sell for more money than usual when sold to this maid, the Gourmet Maniac. She'll pay good prices for anything that could potentially be used as a cooking ingredient. I believe that includes vending machine drinks as well. Pretty much any food items. Now, because of that, there are a few infamous things about this person, particularly in Black and White 2. They're infamous for a certain easy money trick, in that they buy Castelia codes off you for massively more money than you get them from. You buy them for about 200, she buys them off you for 2,000. You're making an enormous profit from that, and seeing as you can buy Castelia codes every day in packs of 12 in that game, that is just plain ridiculous. Yeah, really ridiculous. It's, essentially, you have no excuse for having any trouble with money in Black and White 2, because, yeah. In the first Black and White, I don't think you can do that trick, because you can only buy Castelia codes once a day, and you don't have to wait in line, which gets really annoying. And the fact that I don't think you can buy them in bulk either, so that's a little annoying. So anyway, now, the main use of the Gourmet Maniac in this game is, eventually we'll start finding items called Balm Mushrooms. Those things, they're limited, but they sell for enormous amounts of money with her. Make sure you sell them to her and not to a regular mart. You get a good 25,000 for those. So anyway, that was an easy battle. Really easy. Okay. Oh, of course, wait a minute. That sounds weird. Anyway. Now, players of Black and White 2 might remember this specific spot as the location of the very first hidden grotto that you're forced to go into for a forced tutorial. Inside, you find an annoyingly always male Minccino, I always get them mixed up, Minccino with its Dreamworld ability Skill Link, which is actually quite useful. Now I'll just reiterate, the stuff you find on this route is the same as the stuff you found on the routes to the east of Nimbasa, so I don't really need to catch anything here. But like I was saying, the sad thing about those hidden grottos is that forced Minccino is, so far in my whole playthrough of Black 2, my actual main file that I've played for probably over 100 hours now, that is the only hidden grotto Pokemon I have ever found. That is just plain sad. Hidden grottos were hyped so much, and I was reading about them a lot before I got the game. Then I actually play the game, and I'm so horrendously unlucky, I have never found a single Pokemon in a hidden grotto apart from that one Minccino. That is just sad. See, I check the hidden grotto on the daycare route every single time I'm there. Every time it's been an item. Never has it been a Pokemon. Oh wait, this is why I'm using Grass Knot on this thing, and why I'm actually battling it and not running. I'm gonna need to catch a Minccino, and not for the reason you probably expect. You see, I'm actually gonna need a Minccino before I go into the next city over, and for that reason I'm gonna need to get this one. Now, I was using Grass Knot because this thing being really light, it's not gonna take much damage from that at all. I think a regular Pokeball should be enough to do the job, and it was. Okay, now I'm probably not gonna nickname this thing. The reason is, this Minccino is not for me. You'll see why I need this when we get to the next city. Minccino is for some reason the Neat Freak Pokemon. I really don't know why. Yeah, and just press OK if you just want the Pokemon to be nicknamed the same as its species. Of course, in the original Red, Blue, and Yellow, I believe you were actually allowed to nickname a Pokemon a name consisting just of spaces, so it would always turn up blank whenever you sent it out in battle. That was removed in later generations, annoyingly. But at least you could do amusing things with certain nicknames, like, a good friend of mine once had, I believe it was a Slowking nicknamed No One. So it would occasionally say things like, no one used amnesia, no one used water gun. Yeah. The main other thing I've heard of from that is, someone who, I believe in Nuzlocke, named something implying I. So it would say things like, implying I used confusion, implying I used disable. It was a Psyduck, by the way, which kind of makes it even funnier for some reason. Anyway, here's the Dark Grass, but we've already got everything we need to catch in this Dark Grass. I'm mostly doing this just for the items. Why do I always have to find things before? Oh look, it's a Goth. Hi, Goth. We don't want no emo today. Let's go away. Frisk. It's much better when used by trainers than actual wild Pokemon. Zinc. Guess that could be okay. And if you look down there, you can see Cheren and Alessa over there. Ah, damn it. You see, that's the one problem with riding your bike. If you go too fast, you won't realise that you'll crash into a trainer. I could have easily avoided this guy, but I slipped up and, yeah, what do you got? Oh, look, it's, have we seen one of these yet? Now, the thing I like to mention about Palpitoad is that if you look at it very closely, occasionally it does this really funny thing where it's with its face, that thing. It looks like it's literally going troll-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Oh no, it looks like a troll to me. I don't know why, it just does. Still look, troll-la-la-la-la, troll-la-la-la-la. Fake out first, and I don't know if Paybat will actually do more than Grass Knot. I mean, this thing is double weak to grass, but I don't have the best special attack and Mud Shot. Okay, is that the one that lowers accuracy or the one that lowers speed? Oh, that's the one that lowers speed. Mud Bomb would be the one that lowers accuracy then. And goodbye, Trollpitoad. Okay, let's get going. We actually don't have the HM Fly yet, so we can't do that. Now, there are a whole bunch of other trainers here. They will battle you, but I'm not actually going to battle any of them. So they will battle you if you talk to them, these people. I'm not going to do that because I don't see much point. So let's get all the way back here and do some quick cleanup before we head on over to the next city. Now that we have that money from selling those mushrooms, we can actually go ahead and buy some of these TMs. Now, as I've said before, TMs are very, very, very useful in this kind of challenge, because they're one of the few ways you can actually teach decent moves to your Pokemon. You're never going to learn any new moves by leveling up unless you use rare candies, and rare candies are in strictly limited supply, so you generally don't want to do that unless a Pokemon learns a very good move in one level after you catch it. I really can't afford too many of those HMs, but, I mean TMs, sorry, that's weird. TMs. I can't afford really most of those TMs, but I thought I'd buy a couple, just at least. Now, I'm going to buy a few Super Repels, because I know you guys probably don't like seeing all these wild Pokemon encounters. So I'm just going to buy a couple of these. Just to, we haven't quite reached the point where they're really useful. No, that would be after the 5th gym, when we have to go through a quite long cave. That's when Repels are going to become useful. Fortunately, there are no Zubats in that one. But anyway, time to change my team around a little bit, just in preparation to leave. Maybe I can just finish what I was saying before about... You see, once Smogon published an article, now I'm pretty sure it was a joke, but I still found it in pretty bad taste, where they tried to discourage people from encouraging young children to learn more about the game. They would tell you to never, if you see a young child with a Game Boy or a DS or whatever, to never go up and give them advice, because then you will out yourself as a quote-unquote Pokemon master, and you will never get laid. In almost those exact words. Yeah, I know it was a joke, but coming from Smogon, it comes off as quite bad taste in that they're a very restrictive and elitist community as it is, and it's just, I often find competitive communities like that just go out of their way to ensure the community doesn't grow and develop. Which is actually not healthy, but they think it is for some reason. I'll stop talking about that, because what I'm going to do now is, it's time to get sidetracked again! There should be a getting sidetracked song for this game. Yep, we're not going to move on to the next city just yet. First, it's time to get sidetracked. We can look at this map here of the Battle Subway routes, which, hilariously, is totally pointless, because the Battle Subway never actually takes you anywhere. I thought it would be really cool if it actually did, but no it doesn't. So, anyway, what we're doing now is, we're taking the train to Anvil Town. This doesn't require any battles. You can do this at any time. However, because it was a weekend when I was playing this, I left actually taking the train here till now. Again, it's a weekend while I'm playing the game now. Because, really, there's nothing much to do here unless it's a weekend. There are a few hidden items, though. Yeah, that flower bed was totally suspicious. Ultra Ball, okay. Like I said, there's really nothing much to do here unless it's on a Sunday. I mean, weekend, sorry. I keep thinking it's just Sunday. No, it's any weekend. So, since it's a weekend where I'm playing... Yeah, there are people who are here to trade items. So if you talk to various people here... Anyway... You're weird. Anyway... You're even weirder. You're useless. You're also useless. Ah, here is someone. This guy will trade 2 escape ropes for 1 revive. Now, going by the price of an escape rope, they cost 550. And... So for 2 of them, that's a cost of 1,100. Revives cost 1,500, so you're saving about 400 with that deal. Now, anyway, This here is pretty pointless. It just gives you some pretty angles, and again, it kind of seems to think that the game was almost made for 3DS, but it just wasn't released on that system. You know, I find that a lot of Japanese media has stuff about, train lovers, but anyway, this is the main reason to come here on weekends. If you have a star piece, which you can get one every day, I don't seem to have any, you can get one every day for, 20 Pokeballs for one full restore. It might sound ridiculous, but that actually does get you a better deal than just buying the full restore. It's just way too inconvenient, so I'm not going to do that. And full restores are pretty pointless at this point in the game, where Hyper Potions will cover all your healing needs and more. So like I was saying before, you can get a free star piece every day by smashing the challenge rock with a fighting type. That's around Pinwheel Forest. You can trade them to that guy for a PP up. Yes, that's right, infinitely re-obtainable PP ups. And for a competitive battler, that is very, very useful, because most of them just like to apply full PP ups to all their moves just in case. So, yeah. That's probably the main reason to come here on weekends. Now, it turns out I didn't actually do any trades with anybody, so the only useful thing I'm getting out of this trip is from this guy right here. Yeah, it's not too useful if you're unable to EV train like I am. Here we go, a rare candy. This I will happily take. This is extremely useful. I seriously can't express how useful this is in a challenge like this. It's the only way you can level up. Well, aside from the daycare, but that'd just be cheating. So, now the useful thing about this rare candy is that in fact, Sigilyph... I'll just sit here for a bit and hear this flute melody. Sigilyph does in fact learn a very useful stab flying special move 1 level after you catch it at. So, I could use the rare candy right now to teach Sigilyph a fairly decent move. Anyway, let's head on back to Nimbasa City because there's not much else to do here. So again, if you want PP ups, go get star pieces at Pinwheel Forest every day, save them up on the weekend, come here and trade them for PP ups. Always useful, or you can just get them for free off of the veterans in the sports domes. They only show up on... You've got to be kind of lucky to get them to show up though. Anyway, let's head out of here, and we're still not done. We're going to get sidetracked one more time, and this is a pretty big detour. We're heading all the way back to Nacrane City. Why? Well, to check out how pretty this place looks in the daytime. To find a hidden item we missed before. Just kidding, the real reason we came back here was the museum. I have no idea why I went that way, but anyway. After taking only a few steps in, make a right and talk to this girl right here. She's researching fossil Pokemon. If we've got a fossil, she can turn this flume fossil back into a Pokemon. Now, this time, you don't have to worry about the, whole wait a moment thing with fossils in previous games where you just had to walk out of the building and walk back in. But anyway, we've got ourselves an Archon. Now yeah, before I was saying that I may have kind of regretted choosing Archon over Tortuga. They both have their strengths and weaknesses in this playthrough. Archon is very powerful and will be useful a lot longer than Tortuga will be. But Tortuga, well... like I said, good water types are hard to find, especially before Clay, and Clay is very tough. Oh, wait a minute, don't tell me that's a minus attack nature. It is, isn't it? Oh, and I called that thing Archie. I just thought I would. Pluck, Ancient Power, Archon's special attack is pretty decent though, so that's fine. Quick Guard is not too useful outside of double battles. Agility can help, but it's already pretty freaking fast anyway. Did that thing seriously have a minus attack nature? But anyway, even then, its attack is pretty ridiculous compared to most other things in my party. It does have the Defeatist ability, which will halve its attack and special attack when it's below half health, but I can just heal when that happens. Yeah, only Leopard has nearly as much attack and still not quite as much, so Archon's pretty devastating. But Tortuga may be better for Clay, so it's your call. Now, back to Nimbasa City, because there's one more thing I want to show off before we leave. Looks like there's someone in front of the Ferris wheel. Let's go up and talk to them. But first, once again, make sure we're healed, and I guess we can demo Archie right here. It's getting warmer. What? Oh, I guess that was spring. So, this girl here wants to hang out. So, if you say yes, she'll battle you. This is good experience. Now, technically speaking, this is pointless in my playthrough. I just wanted to show this off. So this is Lass Meyer, and she has no off. Oh, sweet lord. You're not the one who wrote My Immortal, are you? Nah, you're probably not. You're probably safe. Anyway, Psyshock this early? Are you freaking kidding me? Yikes, that's painful, but I think I am slightly above half, so I am still at non-defeatist range, and that thing is gone. So that wasn't too bad. These Ferris wheel opponents generally only have one Pokemon, they're really not too bad. But the main thing with the Ferris wheel opponents is that afterwards, you get to ride the Ferris wheel with them. And you get just a very short conversation. Yeah, these are the infamous quote-unquote Ferris wheel dates in this game. And I say that loosely because personally, I don't think all of them are romantic. Well, they can't really be when one of them, I believe for the male trainer, is a preschooler. So, yeah. I actually did kind of like that one though, because you sort of end up becoming sort of a surrogate older brother figure. I believe it's like their father is like away most of the time, and that one's kind of sad. The thing is, there's one Ferris wheel opponent for each season. You can battle them once per day, and they've all got interesting backstories, and they've all pretty much got their own stories to tell, really. And so they give you some kind of interesting story stuff. Of course, some of them can be interpreted romantically, kind of like that one. Oh, and as pretty much everyone knows, there are in fact same-gender romance options for both protagonists, so I guess Pokemon has gotten oddly progressive lately. Of course, the Japanese version of Black and White 2 had a quote-unquote female nursery aide who turns out to pull a Libra on you. That got censored in the English version, but surprisingly not in the French version. There's something you probably didn't know. And that's about where I'll call it for this part, but there is at least one more of the Ferris wheel scenes that I want to mention because I just find it downright terrifying. I haven't actually seen this one yet, so I'm not sure what it consists of, but I've heard that in Black and White 2, there is in fact I believe it's a beauty, who, throughout her conversations, it's heavily implied that she is on the run from hitmen. Yeah, that is pretty disturbing by Pokemon game standards. So yeah, the Ferris wheel scenes. I hope you enjoyed that one. That is probably the only one I'm actually going to be showing in this challenge, because, let me just say that the rest of the main story will all be done in spring. So, we won't get a chance to see another season's opponent. But, yeah, so that was getting sidetracked. Next time we get back on the main quest, head over the Driftvale Drawbridge, and meet a character who's become rather popular with the fandom. I'll see you then. His name? Well, you'll find out.